How I like to measure and fit my skirtings. So I've already gone round and scraped the bottom edge of the plaster to get rid of any bulges and swept it all away from the wall. Now I get myself a bit of scrap and draw the floor plan of the room. Now I go around each edge measuring corner to corner. Now that's very important and you'll see why in a bit, and write it down on every edge of the floor plan. Three, two. Now we've got all our measurements, let's head over to the bench. So now we've got all our measurements, I always like to work from right round to left because I always like to cut the scribe on the right with my right hand. So the first one is always going to be a square to square cut. Now the next one needs a scribe. The reason I measure corner to corner is because when I measure off square from that end, it will give me the back angle measurement on the back of the skirting. Now I cut the straight part of the scribe. I always set it at about a 10 to 15 degree angle, just so it gets over any unsquareness. Now I know there's a lot of jigsaws out there, but I personally love a coping saw. So I'm going to push the skirting tight in that end and then it should fit the scribe perfectly this side. Now we've got a scribe to an external mitre. So I cut the back angle of my scribe first, measure my corner to corner measurement, which in this case is 980. Thickness of our skirting on the mitre is about 20 mil. I'm going to call it 25-30, so 1.10 m, so that gives me plenty of adjustment if the wall's out of square. Slide the piece into the scribe and mark up the back edge. Now I always like to check every single corner with a mitre gauge. So just hold it on as so, and that is saying 46 degrees. Now we've cut all the skirting, it's time to fix it. As we've got stud walls, glue and pins will be sufficient enough. Now you can put it in whatever pattern you want. You can do squiggles, you can do circles, I don't really care. Now before I fit the external mitres, I always like to get these glued together with some Mitre Mate and a couple of mitre clamps. So just get them lined up and then just get a couple of these bad boys on there. Now we can stick this one in place. Nice. Right, last bit to go in. Now I always like to put a good dollop of glue behind the mitre just so it supports it long term. And in we go. I'm not saying this is the best way to do skirting, but this is just how it makes sense in my head.